Hey girl campers, it's Brenda with Queen Bee RV.
Dana with Camp Safe RV.
We are certified RV inspectors and we're here today with another episode of 52 Ways to Empower Women RVers. And today we're talking electric, specifically these electrical adapters, also known as dog bones. And you can probably guess why they are called dog bones. So what are some of the scenarios that you've had to use a dog bone before in your camping experience?
Okay, a couple of things that we've encountered with our various rigs. We had a 50 amp fifth wheel traveling to national parks where there were only 30 amps available.
Aha.
So we had to have a dog bone that brought us from our, let's see, it's going to be this one, from our 50 amp power cord would plug in here, and then we would take the 30 amp and plug it into the pedestal. And keeping in mind that 30 amp pedestal only provides 30 amps. So even though we were a 50 amp rig, the pedestal only provided 30, so we could only have 30 inside the rig. That's very important.
Okay.
Another scenario would be our 30 amp camper. When we've gone to a couple of vintage trailer parks with that 30 amp camper, there are 50 amp sites and no 30 available, or perhaps you go and you know you've told them you need a 30 amp and you show up and they've put you in a 50 amp site. So in that case, you would use the exact opposite and need a 30 amp adapter for your power cord here, plugging into your pedestal with 50 amps.
Got it.
And in this situation, even though you're plugging in with 50 amps, you are a 30 amp rig. So you don't get 50 amps just because you've plugged in there.
Darn.
You still only have 30 because that's what your rig is wired for.
Got it, got it. So if you noticed, Dana is showing you there's male and female ends to these adapters, so you got to play out the scenarios in your head that you might need to use those for. One of the top reasons people are using these adapters is when they're mooch docking. And that means you're in somebody's driveway, maybe at your home or somebody else's, and you either need power to run lights or keep the refrigerator
cold,
going, something like that. So you might be going, let's say, from your 30 amp rig down to either this is 15 or 20 amp in a regular household receptacle. This is an example of one, and this is also an example. This one's just called a puck. Same kind of situation. You're going to have limitations on what all you can run, especially when you're mooch docking. But that kind of gives you an idea of these electrical adapters, and we hope that you'll come back for next time's episode of 52 Ways to Empower Women RVers.